Hey there, everybody. This is Cholera, and I have found my alternate power source tonight, Thursday night. I am going to be casting 2 more games or 3 more games, depending on how long this series goes. This is another best of 3 series. This is going to be the round of 8 this time, and it's going to be 2 guys who have a lot of silver medals between them. Stork versus Fantasy, although of course Stork importantly has 1 gold medal that he wrested out of the hands of Fantasy in an OSL finals not long ago. I guess Fantasy never really had his hands on it, but you know, Fantasy and him were both holding on to it, I guess, and Stork managed to dino toss it in the end. Stork with his dinosaur powers, Fantasy with his fantasy of finally winning a gold medal. Will it ever happen? We're going to have to see. Of course, you can win something at the World Cyber Games. It certainly is prestigious to qualify, and oh, let's just cut the charade. Fantasy needs a gold medal in the OSL. I mean, seriously, just give the kid a break, man. But it hasn't happened yet, and he still is going to have to be in the hunt for one. Here, though, he might get a chance to get a little bit of revenge against Stork. Stork, obviously, one of the best Protosses out there. Fantasy, one of the best Terrans. It should be a good series. And certainly, both players have a good amount of history between one another. So I don't think either player would be the type that holds rivalries or grudges. I really don't think they are. This is not a Firebat hero here, and it's not a savior. So we're not gonna see that. But Fantasy has, has played a lot with Stork, and he's lost a good number of games too. We're gonna have to see what happens here. In the, for example, in the Bacchus OSL, the last time they faced off, Fantasy won actually. All right, so yeah, so I guess obviously in the Incrude OSL finals, Stork took the series, a 5-game series, but in the games that were played in July, the one game these two faced off against was a win for Fantasy. Of course, anything can happen. This is Destination, and it's going to be a good map here. I think it could be a longer game, depending on how these players feel each other out. I do think that the higher the skill level both players are, the less chance actually we're going to see a super early cheese. Just because, they respect the other player's abilities to hold off that kind of stuff. Basically, cheese is more mechanistic than any other longer game, as in, if you have good mechanics, then you're able to handle cheese, and any of these top players can. And you really don't get a huge advantage from delivering it then. This, by the way, is not necessarily cheese. This is a forward Rax here from Fantasy, but it's done at the correct time, as in it's done on the 10th SCV instead of an 8. On the other hand, this could turn out to be effective nonetheless, because Stork has gone for a fast expand. This looks like a 12 Nexus here from Stork. So this could work out well for Fantasy. In fact, if he gets some Marines up, he could perhaps go for a bunker rush and actually pull it off. We're going to have to see. This is going to be interesting. Just because of that early Rax in the forward position. Or I guess it wasn't an early Rax, but the forward Rax. If it was in the correct position, I would say that a bunker rush would be less likely to succeed. Small things in timing matter so much. Anyway, it looks like Fantasy is going to be scouting down here with his SCV. The moment he sees it, I do expect a bunker to go up. And this could be trouble. Big trouble for Stork here. We're going to have to see. Stork right now has obviously a gateway and a assimilator. He's going to be forced pretty much to go for 2 gate. All right, Fantasy has spotted it. And we're going to see what he does. And by 2 gate, I mean core 2 gate. Not like straight up 2 gate. But generally, 12 Nexus requires you to go for Dragoon range and a number of Dragoons afterward. All right, so it looks like we got the first Marine here, and there's the bunker finally. I think maybe the bunker would have been better off built a little earlier. Maybe Fantasy wanted to make sure Stork was going to commit, though, to holding the Nexus, or although I guess forcing the cancel would have been a huge boon anyway. Oh, look at this. Fantasy has got SCVs and Marines. Uh-oh. And normally, like I said, a 10 Rax cannot beat 14 or 12 Nexus, but if you're in a forward position on a 2-player map, oh, wow. Brutality here could happen, and Stork could face an early exit in the first game. Nexus's shield is down. First sellout is out. I think some Dragoons are going to be out soon, but I don't know if there's enough time here. Stork in big trouble, and yeah, wow. The bunker now up. 4 SCVs there to repair and kill, and the Nexus is going to go down. So right now, Stork has basically been, he's had one of his legs chopped off pretty much. He's pretty much going to be out of this game at this point. It could last for a while, but I don't think there's much of a chance for him to win against a top-notch player. I mean, it's just you're too far behind at this point. We'll have to see if Stork can pull off a miracle. I mean, that would be certainly miraculous. I mean, nothing short of miraculous. There's really no way of him winning otherwise, though. He has mined out the back of his own base, probably to try to get something going here in terms of a sneak attack. Just maybe. I don't know. I mean, these players are, paid to play, though, and certainly they love the game, so they will play to the end in general, even when they feel like they have no chance of winning. Realistically speaking. I mean, obviously there's a huge amount of ifs. If. So, obviously it's not like they have no chance, but, it's highly unlikely unless the other player makes a huge blunder. Anyway, it looks like mines even for Fantasy, so that's going to further delay any kind of expansion attempt. And these two Dragoons are going to have to do a ton of damage for Stork to do anything at this point. All right, so they have gotten into the natural. Fantasy spots them. He probably can just use Vulture Mines to get out of it, but he might be forced to cancel his command center. That would be a big win for Stork, certainly, forcing that cancel. But we're going to have to see. Oh, man, Stork. Oh, no, brutal there. Like I said, Stork, just unable to pick up his own natural because of those mines. Now he loses a number of units and gets a lot of damage. He has managed to force the cancellation, though, of the command center. I still wouldn't say it resets the game at all, because obviously the Terran did not go for a fast expand and has, therefore, more units and more tech, generally speaking. Yeah, he has this tech here. He has those mines, but he is forced to rebuild, so we'll see what Stork can make of it. There's a Vulture going around. Oh, Stork is actually going to go for an expansion in the back. Probably one in the front also. We're going to see if we can hold both, though, especially if Fantasy scouts it. All right, range is not up yet. Okay, now it is. Oh, man, Bruto. Stork. I don't know what his Zealots have been doing, but they're not eating the mines like they're supposed to. It says Dragoons are, and that is just not the way to go. All right, we see this Vulture trying to tempt the Dragoon in. It's not going to work. Dragoon stays in range to kill the bunker. Oh, what is Stork doing? That one tank should be able to pick off the Dragoon. Oh, and the mines. Oh, whoa, actually. Damn. Very nice micro, but it's all for naught as the last Dragoon goes down to a mine. And Marines are even going to... The Marines from the bunker coming out and maybe taking out Dragoon. Looks like not. But, yeah, effort. I'm sorry, Fantasy. Fantasy has managed to hold off this Dragoon assault pretty easily. And also done a lot more damage to Stork once again. So Stork right now still behind, I would say. I mean, he has picked up that hidden